Hi, I'm Laura.
And I'm Tammy from Pura Eco, the place to be
To have the energy and vitality.
that you always dreamt of.
And today
Today we will talk to you about gluten. Good or bad? Good or bad, we cannot deny the fact that gluten is everywhere in the modern diet. Bread, pizza, pasta, cake, muffins, pancakes, croissants, biscuits, and the list goes on. If you have a standard diet, I can guarantee you eat gluten in most of your meals throughout the day.
let's leave the gluten issue aside for a moment. And let's think about how bad it can be to overload your system with the same food over and over in every meal. No matter what food we're talking about, even the most nutritious ones can harm your body if you eat it over and over again. At one point in my life, I ate so much kale that I developed a sensitivity to it. And kale is supposed to be one of the healthiest foods in the world.
Now let's go back to gluten. It's very common to hear discussions about either gluten is harmful or not to our health. From my own experience, all I can say is that gluten was a big one for me. You probably are familiar with my before and after picture of my whole transformation. This was a result of many small changes, not just in my eating habits, but also in my lifestyle. But if there's one thing that really made all the difference and helped me lose weight and keep it off, it was when I stopped eating gluten.
Gluten is a protein that is found in grains, especially in wheat, no matter if it's refined or whole wheat. It can also be found in barley, rye, kamut, and spelt. Some people think that oats have gluten as well, but actually oats don't contain gluten in its nature, only if they are grown and processed together with wheat, which is most of the cases.
Usually is.
But today in the market you can find gluten-free oats everywhere.
When I started my path to health, I went on an elimination diet to clean my body, and then I understood what were the foods that were actually making me more harm than good. First, I cut off all the junk food in my life. Then I eliminated all the animal products, and then all my sneezing, runny nose, mucus in the morning were gone. And then finally I eliminated gluten. For me, it was super hard because everything that I ate had gluten. Why would I have for breakfast? What would I do without eating pizza or cookies?
That's the first thought everyone has when we talk about eliminating gluten. People panic, simply panic. But actually there are many ways to replace those foods with better quality ones. The best way to do this is to first be conscious about whether it is good or not for your body. So let me explain to you quickly in simple words what happens to your body when you eat something with gluten. Gluten is like a glue. It sticks in your intestinal walls, causing damage and inflammation. Inflammation can cause weight gain, but even worse, when it becomes chronic, it can harm your intestinal walls and cause something known as leaky gut or intestinal permeability. That means that undigested food particles can get through the intestinal walls and go to your bloodstream. Your immune system will react, causing allergies or sensitivities, which in the end cause even more inflammation and weight gain. This condition is not only created by gluten, but also by many other processed foods and toxins. The point here is that if the gut walls are not healed, it can lead to more serious diseases like arthritis, for example, Crohn's disease, irritable bowel syndrome, etc. Some people might experience light symptoms like headaches and stomach pain or diarrhea, and some more like mild with some rashes in the skin, and even worse cases, the celiac disease.
See, after I understood all of that, I could not simply continue eating what was harming me the most. And I started being curious about things that didn't have gluten, and also about finding other ways to have a nice and fulfilling breakfast without having to have bread. And guess what? I found much better ways that completely changed my life. Things had started to change big time, but there was one thing that I had not done yet. That's when Laura told me, I guarantee that if you stop drinking alcohol, your weight will drop dramatically. Do it for a month and we'll talk about it later. And then I did. After a month of not drinking beer, my clothes size had gone down many numbers and people started noticing the difference. Yes, beer has gluten, so be away from it. Later on, I realized that I had developed a certain intolerance to gluten and my body could not process it the way it should. All the inflammation that my body was suffering caused more and more weight gain. And I could never truly get rid of all the extra fat, no matter which diet I tried. And that was part of my life for so many years, even when I was a baby, that I believed it was part of myself. I started believing my identity was to be chubby. That was part of my structure and I could not change it. Biggest mistake ever.
It is true that we are what we eat. The only thing that is missing in that sentence is that we can change who we are. And one of the ways to do so is changing what we eat. For Tammy and I, eliminating gluten from our diets together with many other simple things that we did that we took off that caused inflammation, changed our health completely. Now, if you're curious about how gluten impacts in your body, I suggest you do like Tammy did. Just begin by being curious about ways to avoid gluten and look for substitutions. It's simple. It can happen that you are sensitive to it or not. It might be that you are sensitive to something else. There are plenty of ideas and recipes on our website to give you a start. And if you Google gluten-free recipes, you will get tons of yummy stuff that you can try. Just be aware of gluten-free products that have other unhealthy ingredients in it, like corn and soy that are transgenic. We hope this video has served you, and if you think it serves others, please help us change more lives by liking, sharing, and leaving your comments below.
If you want to completely transform your health and your life, go to our website right now and subscribe to receive our emails.
And remember to follow us on our social media. We will see you on the next episode of Pura Eco TV.
Thanks for watching and bye for now.
Ciao, ciao.